Okay, so now, quiet project. You were built, designed, have a track record is what, I mean, this is colloquial 1978, where 7 and 8 broke, being number 3 and number 4 were in the transversed position when they were delivered. It changed the calendar from cognition inside of Requiem services, from being able to calculate out and being able to manifest properly. The original calendar linguistics, not on the Gregorian, but on the correct, manufacturing that I was to be delivered to. I was to be number 4 because I was to bring in the children, and it was supposed to be Freya, on where the Gregorian has a Friday. Instead of that linguistical prowess, Niklaus, I hate to use the word Mark King, because every KING on this broken calendar system is dark-skinned. If I took resin and I put it on my skin, I call it black shoe polish. If you put it on your skin, which I don't recommend, more that gray tone than my own. That's what the name, I mean, you got Nat King Cole, she's that color, which is also a king and a coal problem, especially with these 3 letters Nat in this catalog visage of manifestations, are really taking a shit dive into problems. All right, back to where then we had Martin Luther King. He's another one with dark skin to really fuck up the Mark King and my purpose. At Freya was the original Friday, Thursday, THORS was Thursday. And now when 3 and 4 got delivered transversed, and the male and female copulation got transversed as well, it changed Thor, THOR, into Horus, HORS, and then it became Osiris, OSIRIS, which is still the same brimstone iris. And I became, instead of Freya, I turned to Isis, ISIS, in goddess with bodice for this project. So Thor actually becomes split in brimstone to Osiris, who is who I am to mate with and marry, and then Horus is our son, which is Alexander James, who I have now as a love child, which is where the word whore comes from, for the woman, and then the mother of Horus. I know that the humans make it out to be something more than it really is, but I mean, this is the disgusting version of them, where I'm forced to have a godchild as a whore and made to be like some bitch to humanity that they can play with, tease, hurt, and study and research and get nowhere and break everything even worse. Now, originally, in preparation for my appearance, since this is not my first go in the system at fixing things and being able to keep my wits about me in how do I explain it between this version of what they call living and where I'm at, and not get caught up in their fucking level of stupidity while I wait for rescue. So now, dropped off in the middle of like the fucking jungle, rainforest, I don't know. I got Broomhilda records as well. But anyway, so I just put up one of my POOF, POOF records, Alexander, I don't know if he put it under Horus or Thor. He wrote about now one's my son, one's my husband. Sometimes they don't like size Vlad to know things, because then he gets like size Hulk and goes apeshit, and then if I'm not picked up, I get harmed. So it's kind of like a quiet ring of circus that we try to like not let others know about, but when others are doing stuff that then work like dominoes to knock over. All right, so long story short is I wound up in a training session with somebody else's future husband, as my trainer for core COR workout. It was unbeknownst to me. It was unbeknownst to him as far as I knew, or he said, just to keep things not so awkward and how we were uniformed. And then we were just in lab space where it was workout. I mean, it was training. It was workout. So it was, for me, it was a vertical lift, like core abdominal. And then, but what happened was, because you have to put your arms down and hold the thing in order to lift your legs up, my shoulder, after sitting there for so long, which again, right, I'm not a complainer, but it was quite some time, and I wasn't prepped for that area yet. From my girdle, my shoulder girdle, from my ear all the way down and front to back, the entire girdle started locking up like somebody was sticking knives straight into my whatever area region. So that was a problem. In the meantime, whoever the whatever is, we came up with some reference tools in order to keep ourselves privatized and not make huge, but have to report it. So, right, in ONYX space, ONYX, since I'm goddess Nyx, NYX, and I showed up in a bodice, BODYESS, it was with whatever, and I said, okay, so this is like, I mean, like if you have shale, right? Let's do mineral, rock, mineral, whatever. So you have shale, SHALE. It's like a slate, SLATE, kind of, sort of. It flakes, FLAKES. Great, in like little shards. I mean, almost like a pastry, right? A PASTREY. That came out in a song. So when you have flakes and shards of things that come off, right, there's an onyx, because shale and slate, to my understanding, has come in a few different colors, but none of them black, like BLACK. There is a stone called onyx, ONYX, that if it's polished, POLISHED, then it brings the sheen up, and it is it's a dark color. That there's another stone I call flint onyx, which is MICA, MICA, which goes back to the dawning of the record, to make sure that it was privatized, but it was looked into in the unbeknownst, like how the hell did, and I don't know where this is, which, right, I mean, it could be, it's scenery from gym training, whatever, and now gym trainer was on balancing on an exercise ball. I think they put it in as yellow. I put it up on record as yellow, because it was, again, Tiafrio had a light yellow over his head, but like it's probably like a laced event, LACED, but I didn't ask for either. I thought that the one gym training, if I was reputable, if I was honorable, if I was team player, and I'm like, right, okay, but here's the thing, like on these records, I was like, the humans, I mean, like, our kindred spirit is in cosmic quiet space, time and space is breaking at such a horrific astronomical rate that the prowess of word being character mixed with a cognition of thought process. When the Coptic eye looks to read, it bypasses by viral upload of what the humans are doing in manifestations. So this way they jump conclusion and they wire themselves into a thought process completely wrong. And it's hard to hotwire or hardwire them differently from the manifestations when we are sent in to the Human Broken Project. So now what do? At how long do you, I mean, like, these are things we insist at EMS level you fix immediately, because it's embarrassing enough between he and I that we were there, whatever, we got over it, make the best of a moment and make sure that you document it properly in professionalism. But then it's like, is anybody checking on the schedule of who created that particular oopsie? Like, I'm pretty sure size Vlad didn't want his size Soviet in that moment. And is that like Team SEALs, like doing some kind of NASA event for like future, am I going to marry her? Like, are we going through bridal catalog? Like, is this a bridal event now, according to sick, weird guys elsewhere? You realize there's a telepathic hiring process as to whether somebody passes cognition, recognition, Coptic, morality, and genetic kindred for these very highly specified projects. It's a telepathic approval system. Why the fuck would you give an old creepy guy who sits in an office, creates problems to get some kind of new high classified porn operation for his private privy that he doesn't tell anybody about, but it's going on, and then the kids can't remember it when they wake up? But there's some people who are searching, and they're like, oh my goodness, look at that in catalogs, what you can find out for good-looking people. So now I'm just curious, why is the Black Burlap Creepy Project allowed to go on? And I've got bigger manifestation problems now, because in what we call immortality, which is the lit of the moral, and the morte, which is the biological creature, it is breaking something disgusting, because I'm being held outside a dimension in a process that will literally collapse the entire living terrarium and planetarium, just to prove a point about how superior I am inside the project in relation to all of the rational, broken humans that we don't like to call broken humans. We are like, no, you're the rational one. Like, I'm the irrational one. I get that. I need to go find my irrational brethren to just not be so much rational like you. I know what whore really means. I know what a wormhole looks like, feels like from the inside out, and how it's done. And I don't need your rational new community of human to catch a curiosity bug, a viral thought process, and go fund things and look for things and manufacture things and then have like big conferences to teach things and then clone things and like, holy, now the kings are all black in your version of reality, which yippee for them. But I'm like, that's just a part of a rationale that is okay in their community, but I still have to fix my waking up with someone that I can remember was okay in dawning a new era of ethos, anthos, and like, how the hell am I going to tell Vlad this one? And then the management team that I need to like fix it. And then like, who do you sell out? Who do you rat out? Like, I mean, these are like big things. But yet you gotta be quiet, but yet nobody's taking care of anything. And then they call you disrespectful, and they call you a whore, and you're like, well, funny thing about that whore. You wouldn't even know, farmer lady on Iowa, what a whore was. You better hold on to that Bible. I come from a whole nother world, sister, and if you like that Bible and staying all the color and not getting raped and burned at the cross and things, right, yeah, you might want to let me do my own thing and not, like, you know, write ballads and canons about who I am or what you think I am, because I ain't anything that you ever seen. And I come from a realm that is way different than this one.